This lesson is part of a set of lessons dedicated to dependent drop-down menus. If you haven't seen the other lessons, I will put a link in the description so you can access them, and I will also put a link so you can download the whole workbook with all the exercises and cases. What do I mean by dependent drop-down menu? Basically, here I have some lists of items and I have a first drop-down menu so I can select the list that I like, for example list 2, and I have a second menu in cell H3 that depending on the list that I have selected, I can get the items within this list and select one of them. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to do this in a dynamic way using the index formula and the name manager. What do I mean by dynamic? Basically, if we add, for example, a new record here in list 2, I can automatically get it in my list. So here you have the same data set. What we're going to do as a first step is create an Excel table for every list. So I'm selecting list 1. I'm going to go to Insert, Table. We say OK. Here we have table 8. So we're just going to call it list 1 table, TB. Then we select the second list, Insert, Table, list 2 TB, and the third table, same thing, list 3 TB. After this is done, we're going to create our first drop-down list. So we go to Data, and then we click on Data Validation, List, Source, we select the 3 headers, and then we say OK. And now I can select one of the lists. So I'm going to select list 2, for example. Then we need to populate this dependent dropdown. So what I'm going to do is write a formula here. If it doesn't work, I can at least troubleshoot it. And this is best practice. It's better not to go into data validation and write the formula directly there. So let's try equal index. I open parentheses. I'm not going to use the first index formula. I'm going to use the second one that has the area number. So first of all, we have a reference. For the reference, I need to select my 3 lists. So let's close parentheses. Let's go back up, open parentheses. Again, we select our first list. So this is the first list, comma. Let's select our second list, comma, our third list, and then we close parentheses. So this is my reference argument. Then I do comma. For row number, it means how many rows do I want to go down and select a data point. I want to take all the rows, right? So I can leave it blank. To leave it blank, you just add a comma. Then you get the columns. For columns, it's the same thing. I have selected the columns that I want. So I want, whenever I select one of those lists, I want all the columns. So again, we have a comma. And then we have area number. Area number basically tells me if I put 1, it will give me list 1. If I put 2, it will give me the second item here, which is list 2. And if I put 3, it will give me the third item, which is list 3. So how do I get the right list? We can use a match formula. So I'm going to do match, open parentheses. My lookup value is this one. Let's do F4 to have it in dollar signs, comma. The lookup array is this. Again, we're going to use F4, comma, and then we want exact match, so it's a 0, and then we close the parentheses. I press enter and I get all the items related to the cars. Now, if you don't see this, it means your Excel version is older than mine. So you can come here, select everything in the formula bar, press F9, and then you can see all the items. So don't press enter now, press escape to get back to your formula, and there you go. Now, if I try to put this index formula into my data validation, it's not going to work. Let me show you. I'm just going to go Control C, Escape, then I select H3, data validation list. I will paste it, and I will get this error. Why? Because data validation doesn't like tables references. So I'm going to say cancel. What I can do is go to Formula Name Manager. So I can use Name Manager for this. Let's do a new name. So we're going to call it New Formula, for example. And then we can paste it here. OK. Close. On H3, we do data validation, list, equal, then do F3. So you can get all the names that you have. We have a new formula here. We will press OK, and there you go. You get all the items in the list. If I do list 3, you get all the items in list 3. Now if I add something here like July, it will automatically come in the list. So this is one additional methodology that we have used. I would advise you to look at the other ones. Some of them are more complex than others. I like this one. Once you see the other ones, let me know which methodology you prefer. And please, as usual, give a thumb up for this video and subscribe to the channel.